Welcome back, everyone, to Sebring for the Sebring 12 Hours. As you've worked out by now, this is so much more than a car race. It's so much more than a proving ground for the latest sports cars. It's a fan happening. It's a bit like going to a concert, a festival, and everyone turns up. And I'm really excited. Doug Del Franco, so nice to have you here from Speed Society. We never met before, but like millions of you around the world, you know what Doug does. This is your second major international race. You went to Le Mans last year, and here you are. Tell everyone your first thoughts of being here.
The energy is incredible, just like Le Mans. Just coming through, we're driving up, hearing the cars. That's a game changer for me. I went from being just traveling, and then I heard the cars, and that's where obviously all my energy comes from. Coming here for the cars, our fans, and just the overall energy. I mean, I see people here who either race cars or own cars, and people who just love cars.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what I've been seeing growing and growing. You know.
I mean, it really is the enthusiast base, because obviously, I mean, a funny thing, Doug, was back in the 70s, they had the fuel crisis. I mentioned it last night. Still like 15,000 people turned up here and just had a good party for the weekend, because as you can imagine, this is a commitment to come here, and the fans on the infield, you are going to get a chance to walk through there. The enthusiast, you were just mentioning to me, the enthusiast base has exploded in the car world. Why is that? Why now? What's the relevance of today?
You know, I think that the horsepower versus miles per gallon, miles per hour versus miles per gallon, miles per hour won that competition a few years ago, probably around 2008. And now we have regular people like myself driving performance race cars on the road, and that's aided or basically built a passion in the individual.
Yeah.
Because they're able to experience these cars that we can buy now. And so it went from a niche to mainstream. And that's what it's growing and growing.
Growing. And I also think, obviously, the rise in social media, the rise in channels like yourself, Speed Society, it's given an accessibility. Because in before, we did used to have to stand back and go, wow, there's a Lamborghini. I wonder what it's like to drive. There's a Porsche. I wonder what it's like to drive. But now, through you and guys like you, they can actually get behind the wheel and get an insight.
Yeah, and get in the cockpit or watch us drag it and launch control a car down the road. I mean, that's been a big part of the growth has been, I believe, Speed Society, our influx of videos throughout the internet. Just obviously, if there's a car racing video, it's Speed Society. And now we've gone to the level of influencers.
Yeah.
That's how big we got, and I feel like that's also how the industry's grown, and we're a reflection of that. In a few short years, we've grown with the industry, and whether it's aided us or we aided them, we really don't care. We're just here to enjoy it and race cars.
I mean, it's a bit like we're watching right now behind us. You can see it on the screen. The WeatherTech qualifying has started to happen. It's counting down 15 minutes. In the last show, you saw me talk with Nick Tandy, who's the factory Porsche driver, British driver. Out there, the GTLM cars run on race-going Michelins.
Right.
And there is a very close collaboration between, which is an unseen collaboration to most of the car enthusiast base, between the race engineers, Michelin and tire engineers, who then feed back to the road tire engineers, who then you drive their tires.
Right.
You're seeing that in action now. Motorsport plays a very big role in our road-going world.
Yes, and you know, Michelin, from my perspective, in my opinion, plays a big part in the loving of the performance of the car. I've driven on other, you know, Pirelli and whatnot. I only use Michelin now, but one thing I was mentioning, and even doing the motocross, was how Michelin actually puts you in touch with the car in a different way, where you're not sitting on top of a car and guiding it. You're sitting in the car, and the power feels like it's coming from you. It's an extension of yourself. So when I'm driving that car, I forget I'm in a car. That's my body. But Michelin allows for that more so, or if not only, than any other tire that I've experienced. And that, I believe, you know, helps a lot in us being able to actuate, you know, realize the performance of a car in safely.
Yeah.
Safely. It'll keep you on the road.
Keeps you on the road, but it also, don't worry, they can hear us over the top of the cars as they go. Those are the prototypes. 15-minute qualifying session. You have to get it with the temperature that we got right now. They'll probably have about 4 laps in which to optimize the tires. Recently, with all these cars coming out, I got asked, why the levels of performance? Why do car companies still do that? in a world where you're not able to drive so fast on the road in a way, my answer is very simple. The automotive industry, Henry Ford and people like that, allowed the everyday person to be liberated.
That's right.
It didn't matter if we had a house, it didn't matter if we had anything else, we wanted a car. Are we still in that place that driving for a large percentage is a very pure thing?
Greater, I think,
Greater.
to the point because our cars are greater.
Yeah.
Our cars are greater. So, like what you were saying, and back to what I was saying about how miles per hour won that battle.
Yeah.
And so there was a battle going on. In the 70s, after that, the cars went down, performance went down, and it coming back, I mean, it's full force. I don't see an end to it. I see it keep going and going and going because the market has spoken. The market has spoken for performance and love.
And what have you driven recently that you could tell people about that's pretty special?
Well, my personal cars, I have a GTR.
Oh.
It's an Alpha 10, 1,200 horsepower. Well, maybe about 1,000 something to the wheel, and I have a Mercedes V12 as well. But I've driven Porsche, Ferrari.
Everything.
I drove a BMW today.
That's pretty cool.
On Michelin's, yeah. So that's how I got into it. I bought a performance car and fell in love.
So we're here at Sebring. You have a cross-section of fans. Some of these guys have been coming here. Literally, the people in the motorhome next to me have been coming since 1962.
Yeah. Wow.
Racing is a big pull. Performance driving is a big pull. What do you think about the role that motorsport and the car industry have through people like yourself in the entertainment side of it? Because we live in a world where it's very competitive. It's a crowded space, but we do some really cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So entertainment part of it has picked up. Obviously, cars have become a show.
Yeah.
The way people perform with cars, our car shows, where they're doing car reviews, whatever we can do with a car, if we haven't done, we're going to do. Yeah. And that's about entertainment and art. Building a car, looking at the beauty of a car. It's not just about performance. You want your car to be a piece of art too. You want to walk away from it and make sure you look back, know it's safe, but also it'll beat anybody at the light. Yeah. And that's what you want. But the beauty too. So that's where it's going to different levels of people and bridging those gaps.
You want your car, everyone will probably agree, when you walk out in the morning, you want that little tingle in your stomach. You want to go, that's good. From design. Design and art plays a big role here at Sebring. We actually have some amazing artists recording. Follow along online and you will some of their work. It's actually incredible. But design coupled with technology is really also part of that liberation, that connection between performance, because I don't think the cars have ever looked as good as they do right now.
Nor have they performed as well.
Yeah.
So with technology, cars, I think the car industry is showing it's upping its game and it's taking advantage of can we call it a frenzy? I mean, it's been growing so fast.
Well, you're in a frenzy, I know
I'm
that.
in a frenzy,
Speed Society's in a frenzy.
Absolutely, we are.
So what can we expect next from Speed Society? What have we got to look forward to?
We're going to be partnering with big companies going forward, doing a lot more co-branding, doing a lot more part of the influencer. Still staying with our videos and our fans and staying in close contact with them, but we are branching off to do bigger things with bigger companies. So some of it's obviously not ready to announce yet, but Michelin is one of them. So partnering with Michelin is a big deal for us, and that's obviously going to lead to a lot of great things for us. Michelin's a tremendous company. Look what they do. There's no other tire company in the world that does this for fans or influencers, bringing their passion to our passion.
Yeah,
and allowing us to enjoy it.
Genuine passion, exceptional drives.
And
Listen, Doug,
that's
thanks
true.
so much, man. It's really great to have you here. He's going to be driving out on track later. Follow along on his social media because he will have his own story to tell. This has been show 3. We have so much more to come today. They are qualifying right now. Follow along, especially at IMSA.com. You can find out what's going on the track behind me. We'll see you later, guys. Thanks for joining us.
That was great.